I am Deepak Savadati, founder and president of Viome. Viome is a company that's focused on understanding the microbial activity in our gut. And why is it important? 50% of the world's population today is suffering from chronic conditions. And that ends up leading to about 60% of the deaths annually due to chronic disease. And that's a scary number. And about 90% of these chronic conditions originate in our gut. So gut is where everything starts. And Viome's mission is to understand these microbial activities down to strain level and what metabolites they're producing, what toxins are they producing. And based off of that information, we are able to generate very actionable recommendations to our customers. Strain level is, when you identify a microbe, typically today's technology is able to identify it at a genus level or a species level, which is okay. The problem is that 100 different strains and they perform different functions. So knowing these organisms down to strain level is extremely valuable. Because more than knowing who is in your gut, what's important is understanding what function they're performing. And that's what our technology allows us to do. Health and wellness has become a big deal, especially the millennials. They want to make sure they're eating right and taking care of their health. And the reason is disease prevention. You have to start early, and people in their 20s and 30s are starting to take care of their health really well in order to prevent these chronic diseases down the road. The microbiome space has become really heated up in the last 4 or 5 years. There are a bunch of companies that are doing microbial analysis, but almost all of them follow the most basic technology called 16S, which is one portion of one gene found in a bacteria. That's all you're going to get is, hey, here are the organisms that we have at a genus level or maybe species. And our technology is called metatranscriptomic analysis, which allows us to identify every organism, not just the bacteria. We identify bacteria, viruses, archaea, fungi, yeast. Anything that's alive in that sample will be identified down to the strain level, number one. Number two, we also analyze the function these organisms are performing, which is extremely valuable because the same microbe could be performing different functions in different people. So we get the complete information on the activity, which we then take into consideration to come up with, we apply artificial intelligence and machine learning on top of that to generate these very specific recommendations. Main benefit is, food is going to be the next $1 trillion drug, or maybe the first $1 trillion drug. The reason is that if you know what exactly your microbes need to be fed, and if you can provide that food, then the microbes take care of the rest. They will produce the micronutrients your cells need to keep you in good shape. And that's exactly what we are able to do already, is to come up with those recommendations, which sets us apart. There aren't technologies available to do that, and we're able to do that at a very low cost. And thus our goal is, this isn't a product just for the wealthy. We want to offer it to everybody, and that's the focus. We like to call it that, hey, we are not going to recommend any trendy diet for you. The diet that you're going to get, or the recommendations you're going to get, is what your biology is demanding. And some examples, if I may, is, people would think that spinach is very healthy. We have more than 30,000 customers already, and about 70% of our customers don't have the bacteria that's necessary to process the oxalate in spinach. So for those people, spinach isn't that good. It could actually be harmful if you eat a lot of it. So we don't recommend spinach for those people. We say minimize that. Same thing with pomegranate. You know, everybody thinks it's very healthy. Half of our customers cannot take advantage of the polyphenols.